Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is For Pause in a Book. I make book and lifestyle related content, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. Today we are going to be talking about all things Tor. If you don't know, I am co-hosting a readathon with Bethany and a whole bunch of other people that I will have linked down below called TorDotComathon. And this is a brainchild of Bethany's. She's been doing it for a couple of years now. And she asked me to be a co-host, and I was ever so happy to participate. TorDotComathon is a difficult name to say very quickly and a lot of times, so if I mess up, that's why. But B, it's a readathon that happens throughout the month of March, and we have a bingo board. It's really cool. I'm not going to go over each of the prompts, but I will direct you to Bethany's announcement video that will have all of the information. What I'm going to be doing today is telling you about some recommendations, telling you about some Tor titles that I have on my TBR, and tell you about a giveaway, so stay tuned for that. Even though it is called TorDotComathon, it is actually all of the imprints of Tor. So we have Tor, Nightfire, Tor.com obviously, and then Torteen. So there's a lot of different imprints that we can use. And I have recommendations for you for all of the imprints. And then I'm gonna talk about some books that might happen this month. I do have a TBR. It's big. It has a lot of Tor.com titles on it, so that's fantastic. But I also have other ones. So I was just looking through my shelves and I was like, oh, that's a Tor.com. Oh, that's a Tor. So we're going to talk about some, and then maybe if you have them on your TBR as well and you didn't know they were Tor, you can pick it up. First, let's talk about the group book. And that is Even Though I Knew the End by C.L. Polk. The cool thing about Tor.com is that they're all novellas. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are novellas. And you can get through them really fast. This book ticks off a ton of prompts on our bingo board. And like I said, I will link Bethany's announcement video where she goes over what prompts this book will fit. It's a bunch of them. You can almost get an entire bingo with just this book. So even if you just read one book and then do the rest of your normal reading, you still participate and you still almost get it all. This book is a sapphic fantasy romance kind of thing. This is crime mystery sapphic fantasy. This is what it is. There's a lot going on in the little tiny book, but let's just read this. A magical detective dives into the affairs of Chicago's divine monsters to secure a future with the love of her life. This sapphic period piece will dazzle anyone looking for mystery, intrigue, romance, magic, or all of the above. And that sounds fascinating. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. It was voted upon by all of the co-hosts, and this is the one that won, and I'm really excited about it. Another super short Tor title that I absolutely love is the Becky Chambers Monk and Robot series. So we have a Psalm for the Wild Built and a Prayer for the Crown Shy. It's like a little duology. It's absolutely adorable. They've made my best books of the year, or close to my best books of the year in 2021 and 2022 when I read them when they came out. If you're just looking for a little hug in a sci-fi book, absolutely fantastic. It's about this monk who is a tea monk, and so their job is to just go around to different communities and serve tea, and that is how they help the community. And then they have this robot that wakes up and is very interested in the humanity and why humans do certain things. There's a lot of conversation about conservation and giving back to the earth and not taking from the earth, and all of these things, really, really good social commentary wrapped up into this cute little robot. Another really popular Tor.com title, or Tor. Some of them are under Tor, some of them are under Tor.com, I don't know. But Every Heart a Doorway, the Wayward Children series, they will all count. This is a fantastic series to binge. There are 8 of them, and they're fantastic. The newest one came out in January. And while dark is probably one of my favorite titles that in the series that has come out so far, this is about this magical portal world where children get these doors that open into a fantastical world that is perfect for them. So that's pretty much all I can tell you about. There's so much representation and diversity in these books, both on the LGBTQ plus spectrum, but then also neurodivergency and there's a plus size character, there's different races and ethnicities, and it's just a wonderful series. This is one of my all-time favorites. If you're looking for a very weird, very short horror, Come For Me with the Apples by Catherine M. Valente is fantastic. This actually might be a book that I end up rereading this month because once you find out the twist, everything clicks into place. And so now knowing the twist, I want to go back and read it. But this is a book that, like, you're kind of going along, and you're like, this is kind of weird, this is interesting. And then the twist happens, and you're like, oh my gosh. So that's this book. Very short, like 100 pages. The audiobook is like 2 hours long or something like that. And it was just fascinating. Plus the cover, just beautiful. Okay, another really short duology that you can knock off a bunch of prompts is the Spindle Splintered and Amir Mended, this is the Fractured Fables series. They are very light Sleeping Beauty retellings. This one more so, but it's kind of like Sleeping Beauty meets the Spider-Verse in the fact that she gets like pricked by a spindle and then like whisked into this like land as a Sleeping Beauty, but then like other Sleeping Beauties from other universes and other like stories and retellings and stuff all kind of converge into this one spot to like save the day. And so it's kind of like I said, Spider-Verse. And it was really interesting. I think it was done really well. There's a really good conversation about chronic illness and like terminal illness, so there's some trigger warnings for that, and it is queer as well. Okay, so those were the Tor.com recommendations that I have, but I do have some recommendations from the other Tor imprints. One of the books that I recently read was The Rune of Kings by Jen Lyons. This is a like 5-book series. Obviously they are pretty big and chunky, but it is a Tor title, so this might be a book that I pick up and continue on in the series in the next month. I don't know. We'll see. I already have a lot on my TBR, so I don't know. But I had a lot of fun with this one. This is a very classic fantasy, but like with a lot of snark, a lot of like sarcasm. There are footnotes in this that are fantastic. The audiobook is really good because it has different narrators for the footnotes, so you can tell when it's a footnote. And they're just snarky. They are sarcastic. There's a lot of humor in this book. And essentially what it is this book, the one character starts the story, and then the other character is like, no, that's not where your story started, and then like starts way back farther, and then they're telling them like parallel. So it's really confusing at first, but then once they meet and they converge, you can like really get it. And this was a beautifully written book. V. Schwab writes some of her titles under Tor. So the Darker Shade of Magic series as well as Vicious are both Tor titles, and these are both ones that I highly recommend. Specifically this one. This one was one of my favorite books the year that I read it. This is about two very morally gray characters that whenever they have a near-death experience, or they have a near-death experience, and then they get extraordinary abilities, kind of like mutants almost. So it's definitely has like sci-fi element to it, and it's a fantastic duology. Another sci-fi that I really enjoyed that I actually just recently read was The Murderbot Diaries. This is the first book. They're also very short books, but this is All Systems Red, which is number 1. And this is about a grumpy robot that's designed to like murder, obviously, Murderbot, but he's really just trying to like figure out humanity. He wants to watch his TV shows to like learn about humanity. It's definitely a story that is like very character driven, very like there's not a lot of like plot and a lot of action happening in this book, but once you like kind of get to know the characters and really start to love them, it's a good time. Okay, then I have a couple of titles from Nightfire, which is an imprint of Tor that does mostly horror books. So we have Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. This was one of my favorite sci-fi horrors, but like one of my favorite sci-fis and one of my favorite horrors, because it's a really, really good genre blend. And this was fantastic. It is about this crew that's like a salvage crew, and they find a ship out in space that has been like sending out a distress call for I think like a decade. And so they think that they're going to go on there and like get a bunch of like stuff that will make them rich, like because it's like it was a luxury cruise spaceship kind of thing. And then Ghost. Yeah, so Ghost in space, fun. Sci-fi horror is one of my favorite subgenres. So, really good time. And then a book that I just recently read was What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is another one super, super short, which I love. And this is a retelling of the Fall of the House of Usher. There we go. By Edgar Allan Poe. Now, I am not familiar with the original work, so I couldn't tell you if it's a good retelling or not, because I'm not familiar with it. But I had a good time reading this. Never been scared of mushrooms before, but now they're a little terrifying. But this has a very historical feel to it, and it is about this man who goes back to his like friends, like his like war partners, house, and then like there's a fungus happening that's like infecting people, and it's real spooky. Really spooky. So those are some books that I have read from Tor and Tor's imprints. Now let's talk about some books that I might read this month. The first ones are books that are on my like March TBR, so I'm not going to talk about them in depth because my TBR came out yesterday. So go ahead and watch that. But Middle Game by Shauna McGuire is a Tor title. A Marvelous Light by Freya Marsky is a like fantasy romance that's a Tor.com title. And Goliath by Tochi Onobuchi is a Tor.com title. This is a like sci-fi dystopian book that I'm really excited about. And then these are my pile of possibilities. I like that word. I like the name. Okay. So we have Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh. This is actually an arc that comes out in April. So I definitely want to get to this. And this is kind of a like Handmaid's Tale meets Hunger Games kind of thing, I think. Sounds interesting. Bethany and I are going to be buddy reading this. We have the Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. This is like it's giving me Jurassic Park vibes, but like Portal Universe. So we have this person that's like gets sent to this Portal Universe or goes to this Portal Universe to take care of these like prehistoric dinosaur creature things. Not really sure. But sounds interesting. I've heard really good things about this. Docile by K.M. Sbraza is definitely a book that I'm going to be reading because this is a project that I am doing. This is a like dystopian where you have to work to pay off the debts of your family and of your parents. And if you go and be a docile, which is like a slave essentially, it's following one of those dociles. Legends and Lattes is a Tor title. So if you have yet to pick this up, now might be the perfect time to do that. Everyone's been talking about Legends and Lattes. Sorry, this is a really bad glare. But this is a like cozy, very low stakes fantasy about an orc that wants to set up a coffee shop. That sounds really cute, and I might need a palate cleanser. The Book Eaters by Suni Dean is also a Tor title, and this is about a society of people that eat books, and that's how they like get their knowledge. And then someone in that society is actually like eating human brains instead of the books to consume the knowledge. So yeah, that sounds fascinating. And then lastly, we have Ship of Smoke and Steel by Django Wexler. Obviously, Django Wexler is a favorite author of mine after his trilogy that I read last year. This is his YA title, and it is a Tor teen title. This book is about a morally gray, I think she's a thief. She's trying to get money to send to her sister to take care of her, and things happen, shenanigans, I don't know. I love Django Wexler's writing, so I'm trusting him fully. And hopefully I love this. All right, so let's talk about the giveaway. Every one of the hosts will be doing a giveaway for a different Tor.com title. So like I said, I have everyone linked down below. So everyone will be doing their own special announcement, either on Instagram or YouTube or I think TikTok. Someone's on TikTok. Everyone's linked down below, though. Now, all of the co-host giveaways are going to be US only, unfortunately, because those are coming directly from Tor.com. But Bethany, the creator of this, is going to be doing an international giveaway. So if you're not in the US, go check out Bethany's page, and she'll have an announcement for an international giveaway. The book that I will be giving away is going to be The Keeper's Six by Kate Elliott, and I'll have the Goodreads linked down below for it. But this is a sci-fi fantasy, genre blend, and it is about a mother who has these magical abilities, and she is trying to rescue her son from a evil dragon lord. The cover looks fantastic. It's like a dragon skull. It's great. It definitely has sci-fi elements. It talks about rifts in space and time, and it's gonna be a wild adventure. If you're in the US and you would like to be part of this giveaway, all you need to do is recommend a Tor.com or Tor title down in the comments. You don't have to be subscribed to me. You don't have to do any of that. I'm not gonna do that. Just comment a Tor or Tor.com title down in the comments below, and then put a dragon emoji. So that way I know that you, for sure want to be part of this. I will keep this giveaway open all month. So on March 31st, I will close it. I will randomize the comments that are in here, and then I will pick a winner, and I will get into contact with you somehow. If you want to put like your Instagram handle or something, Twitter, whatever, in the comment as well, that's fine. If you don't want to, then I'll just comment if you won, and then you can get into contact with me that way. That is all I have for you today. Let me know if you are participating in the TorDotComathon. All of the information is going to be linked down below. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.